Namaste, angels. This is going to be a client reading for a repeat client of mine. She has actually had one of each of all three of the different healing methodologies that I use, as well as probably 3 or 4 readings from me. So we're going to do another one today. She has, as expected, reunited, at least to an extent where there's dialogue. It sounds to be very like open and honest dialogue between her and her divine masculine. So we are on the road to recovery. And that's what this card that I'm beginning with signifies as well. I'm starting with friendship, as you can see. And this card for me is very much so about a friendship that develops into something more, with this very wedding band like ring that one of the parties is wearing, albeit not on the ring finger. Ah, look at that. Twin flame. But I was opening to new love, and that's what this is, like love anew. New love. Brunette female. She did mention to me that the masculine was honest with her in that he did still have some karmic connections to other women, and wasn't quite sure how to relieve himself of them, but he's conscious of it and it's something that he wants to work through. So that's you know, what's most important really, because that's the start. You know, like any other addiction or codependent behavior, toxic behavior, acknowledging that you have this situation going on is, you know, the first and most major step. New love. And opening to money, which could be representing his energy as an earth sign, a Capricorn. As I remember correctly, the first reading that I did, you know, it was for her. I'm sure it was a test run from her perspective. I always tell everybody, people ask me like, what do I have to tell you? And I'm like, nothing. You know, you can tell me something if you want, but you don't have to tell me anything. And, you know, she trusted that and went with that. And sure enough, I called out the fact that she was an Aquarius and that he was a Capricorn. And so from then, you know, I guess that increased the confidence that she had in me and my services. New love. And short-term heartbreak. That doesn't mean that this is to come. This can be showing something that had occurred. We'll see what it means, if it pops back up at all. New love, I'll go one more. It's dating. And now dating at the top. I'm going to cut. And I just said she was an Aquarius, right? Is Venus, the ice queen, which does represent air signs for me, this card. I've been seeing a lot of the Venus in Sagittarius, which is our current situation, through Monday, the 25th. Venus is in Sagittarius because she's standing here with this big cat. It's not a lion, it's a tiger, but it's still like speaking fire. So this card is very much right, you know, speaking of that energy right now, but would certainly represent an Aquarius in any case. Overall energy is long distance. And when I first came to it, it was in reverse. There are no reversals in this deck, so I just turned it over. But I think that the fact that it was in reverse when it showed itself to me has some significance in that, you know, it's like the end of this quote unquote separation. Separation is an illusion, so I'm putting it in air quotes. But I think that, yeah, it was marking the end of that. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Any remaining blocks to the union. What the feminine can do, the masculine can do, further advice from the universe, and the outcome. Divine couple, family. I love when family represents the couple. I love it more than twin flame, I believe. Because family is one of those things that when you choose it, as opposed to blood, like when we make up our family, when we take in friends, for example, I started with friendship. We take in friends and people, and they become so close to us and we to them that we feel family. And that bond often deeper and stronger than with our actual blood relations. To me, it just has such a higher meaning. It's like with adoption. You know, it's a conscious choice to make someone a part of you when we bond with people that way. Recent past. Wow. Union. So this is, I guess, marking when they began to reconnect again very recently. The near future. Uh-oh. Obstacles. This could be the karmic situations that he was discussing. We saw in the readings that I did, one for each archetype, that there were some karmic situations that, particularly the masculine, I mean, the feminine has her own, and that's why, you know, I did a reading for us too, but particularly the masculine that he has to deal with. So that's probably what this is. And his higher self work. So this is a very earth card too, right? Work is about applying oneself, practicality. But I think working on these blocks too, since again, he's conscious of them. He's vocalized them to not only another, but to her. That's effort. That's work. Any other blocks? Himself. So similar to what we saw in the reading for the collective, the love reading for the week, the fact that the masculine had some things to deal with was, in fact, the block there too. Same card, same position. What the feminine can do here. There's a triangle situation. This can represent his. It doesn't have to be hers. Although there may still be a link for her to something as well, from what I can feel here, or what seems to be coming in. But also, as it relates to his, you know, she is aware. And so she can sort of be patient and accommodating, you know, within reason. There's an expectation that she would understand his plight and situation. And she can do that. And having faith that everything is going to work out. Hers may be a family member. Like perhaps a blood relation. I consider like exes, especially if we have children with them, family too, even if we're, you know, no longer together and have no interest in being together. Those are like family too. There may still be a cord for her. We got 3 people here and we got 3 people here. And like I said, I was feeling first something having to do with her, although I'm aware of what he is dealing, you know, to the extent that she has shared that with me. Further advice from the universe. New love. So again, with the faith, that regardless and like despite whatever else is happening, this is happening too. And that's more important. Oh, I didn't do what the masculine can do. Okay, there we go. So to pursue and court, that's his job toward this new love. And the outcome. Young male. I think this is asking him to like take a more youthful, maybe a more Virgo-like approach to things than Capricorn. Like loosen up a bit. Capricorn can be that very restrictive, sort of limiting energy, like practical to a fault. And he needs to loosen up and lighten up a bit, and things will flow a lot better for him. From his perspective, I'm beginning again with Earth connection, so another card of his energy as well. And this is about all forms of abundance, in my opinion. So finances, love, there's the need for forgiveness. We begin with ourselves, but there's a need for forgiveness to be extended to one another and anybody else who has been impacted. Again, similar to other toxic and codependent situations, like, for example, substance abuse. When you go to like AA, there's a part of the healing process where there is forgiveness of oneself and other people that you may have hurt while you were not in your typical and right state of mind. Same thing. Earth connection and expectancy. So we got to let go of limitations that we place on the universe. Again, this can be about restrictive energy, but this time we're imposing it upon the universe. So we're blocking our blessings when this comes up. And opposite this is, that's what it's saying. We're like, this blocks abundance. Expectancy and celebration. Celebrating, I guess, when we loosen up the reins, then, you know, the rise continues. And again, abundance begins to flow. Expectancy and transmutation. Speaking of the rise, that's what's happening here. This speaks of ascension and maybe some fire sign energy. This could be coming from the Sagittarius, all the Sagittarius that is also surrounding us right now, along with Capricorn. We have like the Sun in Capricorn and Saturn in Capricorn and Black Moon Lilith in Capricorn. But we have Venus in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius. Is there something else? I guess there had been something else, because until a couple of days ago, the Sun was also in Sagittarius. But we have a lot of that energy. Oh, the Moon. How could I forget? For like 2 weeks. We have that. All right, I'm going to cut. Very nice. We come to relationship. So this is a very positive card and reflective of union, but also reminds us that if we have we run into any difficulty in our relationships, not just with our, divine partner per se, but anybody, any relationships we have, that it's a good idea to first look at the relationship we have with ourselves and heal, that area in our own lives. And speaking of the moon, the overall energy is the goddess, and she is the goddess of the moons. This is about surrender. Feminine about herself. The masculine relates to the feminine, about himself and the union as a whole. Overall, the outcome, what the masculine would have the feminine to do, contribute toward the situation, what he himself is willing to, and what the universe would have the two to do. and transmutation is back. So the feminine on this continued rise and healing process, having reached a much healthier place with the colors that she's surrounded, right? White, yellow, purple hues, red, the fire energy. This is all solar plexus, Archangel Uriel, God's light, sacral chakra, the orange, purple, it's crown. And it's all about, her continued rise. Masculine as it relates to the feminine, birth. So this is like the start of something new. And I don't know if you can see these are very Trinity for me, these little rays that are coming from this very Pentecostal type bird. So it's a divine, like, rebirth. Masculine about himself, abundance, another very earth sign type card. This is about the flow of abundance in all forms. So financial, material, but absolutely love as well. And reconnecting with nature, the need to do that, the conscious decision to do that, meditation and all these things so that flow can continue in a healthy way. Allow love to pass both ways, all those things. And the union as a whole, inner child. And here's this Aquarius energy. So the union as a whole, having gone through a rebirth, it's young, it's fresh, it's new, growing, maturing. Overall, he's all up and through this whole reading so far. More earth energy, earth connection. So, and it's like crossing this abundance one too. They go hand in hand. And again, it's about the flow of love and abundance in all its forms, flowing in both ways, passing in, in both directions. Not being obstructed by anything. What the masculine would have the feminine to do in this situation, support his healing, basically. This universal heart, it's a representation of Jesus Christ, of course, who is a representation of the divine masculine of all time and healer of all time, of the ages. And so if the divine masculine, when he works with Jesus, again, you know that he has made a conscious choice to do better and to be better. And he's asking for you to support that. And that's all. So similar to triangle, I guess, because that's coming back to mind now too. Just having some understanding of it and patience, as he works toward it, and then you helping him to not only work toward it, but through it to the extent that you're able. Even if that just means like hand holding or a listening ear or whatever it is. What is he willing to do here? See? Again, conscious decision. Go through the gateway. Absolutely wonderful. What will the universe have the two of you to do here? Physical body. And more fire energy, more surrender. So full vulnerability unto the universe. And you do need to work on specifically solar plexus and sacral chakras. And there may be some actual physical activity that you all are going to want to, in which you're going to want to engage as well. And I do feel like this is a good time in a general sense, not even only specific to you guys, but for all of us, like to exercise and all that, and that the universe is going to be extremely supportive of that. I do feel that. Outcome. Retreat. More earth energy, more need to meditate, more conscious decision. But here we are bringing together actually the Aquarius and the Capricorn with the energy of the star here. And she's in a prayer position. The star in the tarot represents prayers answered, wishes granted. She's sitting here in the grass amongst the flowers. That is the earth energy. That's the Capricorn coming through. And here is the union of the two depicted, illustrated before you. And this is the outcome. So how awesome is that? And this is from his perspective. So how even more awesome is that? So let's go from there to the Angel Tarot, beginning yet again with Earth energy, and the Empress with Archangel Gabriel, which does represent traditionally in the tarot the sign of Taurus, which is one of the signs that Venus rules, but for me also represents Libra. So air and earth wrapped up in this card too. We just ended on a note like that, and now we're starting with this deck with similar. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. The Empress is all about feeling good, looking good, being really attractive, feeling really attractive, confidence, new beginnings, fertile energy. We can create stuff. We can do stuff. I'm going to make some money. You know, I'm supported by the goddess and the planet of love and money. All of those things. But opening to the Five of Water, which is failure to count one's blessings, in my opinion. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation and crying over spilled milk. The Empress, far better water card, a cups card, the Two of Water. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness, so that's going to be very important, and the positive resolution of a conflict. Two of Water opposite the Empress. Again, new beginnings, new start for a couple. Wow. Okay. And opening from there to the Two of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. The Two of Fire is the divine union card of the tarot. We have it here opposite the Two of Water. How beautiful. Two of Water. And balance. This is healing and like restoration and evening out the scales, so to speak, similar to Libra, although this card represents the sign of Sagittarius. So it can be like the Sagittarius moon energy coming through to bring you healing and restoration. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So again, we're guided to be patient and to allow for the healing, similar to what I felt with that Jesus card, the universal heart. And it's as it relates to the Two of Water here, so which is about a partnership between two people, healing and restoration coming to the partnership. There will be equity there. Two of Water. And lastly, the Four of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. I think meditation is the important part here for you guys. Two of Water. I'm going to cut. Nope. And I've come to the Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly is the Page of Water. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. The Page of Water brings, you know, news of, pages bring news in general. This one brings like offers of love. So pretty awesome. And is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Capricorn. Now today actually, well now it's the 24th. Yesterday, it may still be the case today. Yesterday for sure, there was a Pisces moon. So that could be one reason why this is showing up, this court card of water. But, you know, anybody can be taking on this energy. You don't have to be one of those zodiac signs. Anybody who is taking on, you know, these traits or attributes. Page of Water, especially if they are younger or guided to behave in a more, you know, youthful way, like I felt the masculine was at the end with young male having turned up. So very Piscean. Again, that's the more youthful of the water element. The overall energy is, again, the 4 of air. So, like I said before, I think that this is, for you, is mostly about the need for meditation. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. Masculine is the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement. Change your life now. The Ace of Fire can be this new beginning, again, that comes from the Sagittarius full moon, perhaps, with this big moon in the background here in this picture, but does represent the signs of Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries, or anyone taking on, you know, those kind of very passionate traits. The Two of Fire is also back. You've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So as these two relate to love, this can be a new beginning in love. As it relates to business, that's a possibility too. Entering into some sort of partnership of somebody else to, you know, form something lucrative. Whatever it is, it could be both. You know, there could be more than one opportunity. New beginning. Whatever it is, it's something about which, or someone about which, or both, the masculine is extremely passionate. And in his subconscious, the Chariot with Archangel Metatron, an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower. So this speaks to the conscious decisions that I was talking about before, right? Willpower. This is when a person themselves decides, I, you know, want this in my life. I don't want that in my life. And what am I going to do about either? Also, public recognition. It's a card of victory, too. It's a card of movement, all as are Wands cards. Wands cards are also cards of movement, where something had been stagnant. All of a sudden, it is no more. This can be about travel, as can your overall energy of the 4 of air, a vacation. It can be about moving to a new place, a new job, a new home, and it can be about modes of transportation, maybe a new car, all of that kind of stuff. An important achievement, okay? And for the feminine, wow, 2 of water is also back. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Surrounded by the King of Air, who is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic, and represents your own energy. The King of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, a Libra, or anybody taking on those traits or attributes. The gender does not matter, that it's a king. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. In your subconscious, the Queen of Earth, who is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Earth is an earth sign and would represent your divine masculine's energy here. A Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, anybody taking on those traits or attributes. And relates to abundance. Here, there's fear. Right here in between the 2 of you. In between this new beginning and this relationship that's growing closer is fear of abandonment and lack. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Yes, as it relates to money and material, that is true. As it relates to love for me, again, it's fear of lack, like a relationship lacking something, maybe something that you are used to or that you experienced a prior relationship lacked and you're afraid to repeat that. Also fear of abandonment. At the root, the 6 of water, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. Can be issues regarding children, can be all those things that I just mentioned, but crossing the 2 of fire, I think it's definitely more so its other meaning. The 6 of water, is like a soulmate or past life relationship card of the minor arcana of the tarot. And at the heart of the matter, the 8 of water. So, and it's crossing this card of moving. This card is also about moving. A desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth, which can too be coming from the transmutation that was reflective from your higher self in the last spread, as well as the fact that the masculine was working with the universal heart. So there clearly was a desire to move on towards something more spiritual and healing. That is happening between the two of you. So let's clarify these with some romance angel cards, beginning with forgiving and learning. So this is the third time I think we're seeing this message about the need for forgiveness. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. We're going to live in the now, as opposed to what we experienced in another relationship or something, the lack and the separation, the abandonment, all of that. We're going to forget about that and instead trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Trust and retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Trust. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Trust and deception. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Trust. And lastly, past life relationship. You have known each other before. This can be the deception too, like lying to yourself, not giving yourself a chance. I also just heard it can be whatever I was feeling, you may need to cut yourself away from. It can be that too, like you thinking that only the masculine has, you know, these things to remove himself from, but you've still got to free yourself from something as well. And coming to express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Overall energy is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Top the Ace of Fire, flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. Atop the Two of Fire. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, the red flags, it's sitting atop a red flag. Red flag is Two of Fire. So sign they'll be cautioning you is like, hey, look at me. Stop worrying about lack. Look what you have here. Remember the Five of Water, like not counting one's blessings, not noticing what it is you do have, worrying about what you might not have. That's what this is saying. The Ace of Fire as well. A red flag here. Atop the Chariot. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So like move on from them. This is a card again of movement. Move on from them. They may be a water sign as well. A direct water sign, perhaps an actual Cancer. The Chariot represents the sign of Cancer. Cancer, also for me, very much connected to Black Moon Lilith. Like she is a Cancer, as far as my understanding. Cancer, Leo, like that cuspy kind of energy. That's Lilith. Atop the Two of Water, which is about forgiveness and a relationship going closer, is forgiveness, or forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. You see the Two of Water? A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Atop the King of Air. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So you may usually get lack. You may be expecting lack. Keep an open mind. Have some faith instead, because this can be different if we remain optimistic. Atop the Queen of Earth, separation. This is here in your mind. So it's attached to this other Earth card. Like you're worried about. It's sitting here underneath this keep an open mind and this need for optimism. And here's your pessimism. Like being worried about separation again, which I said was an illusion, and I very much mean. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. This is in your mind, particularly in this placement. Atop the Five of Earth, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Atop the Six of Water, finances and career. That can be something having to do with children now. Especially sitting here for the masculine next to this release your ex, which I said may be a water sign for him. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Or there could be some sort of situation. I don't know if he has any children, but that would make sense here. And that's kind of like what's coming, that there's some sort of financial situation connected to this ex. So my first guess is that they have a child together, particularly with the finances and career sitting atop the Six of Water. At the heart of the matter, atop the Eight of Water, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Going to further clarify yet again with the Ascended Master cards, beginning with priorities, which I think we have a few to get in order, says King Solomon. And opening to crystals with Epona. This can be a means of healing and meditation. Priorities. And drink more water, because we're still going through ascension. As we remember the transmutation, the rise. There were a couple of cards that signified that there may be a rise continuing among you. The Queen of Shun reminds us that we need to drink water when that is happening. Priorities. You can do it, says Archangel Michael. Take back control of your own life. Priorities. And teacher, which for me is the life experiences the lessons that you've gone through and that you're going through. That's the teacher. Lastly, nurture yourself, says Mother Mary. So this is very Empress. We started out with the Empress in the Angel Tarot when I began this spread, and this is very Empress for me too. And she really means like live and love for you. Not for other people, including your children. When she comes through with that. I'm going to cut. And Babaji says yoga, which for me is another means of meditation yet again. And I should have guessed it. The overall energy is health and healing. And it's another very green card that calls to mind the earth energy yet again. Here atop the ace of fire, as well as flirt, is listen. So paying attention to these messages and what the universe is presenting you with, like this new opportunity, this new blessing. Atop the two of fire, and pay attention to the red flags, is balance, career, and home life, says Isis. So if there is also a new business venture in connection with this two of fire and or ace of fire, like Isis says, you can have both and all, you know, everything you want, and a relationship. Atop the chariot and release your ex is yes, says Ganesh. And Lord Ganesha, what he does is he removes obstacles for us. So if you're willing to get moving on this, he is absolutely willing to help you, is what this means. Atop forgiving and learning and the two of water is priorities, says King Solomon. So it's very important for you to release any resentment, regret, you know, any negative emotions that you still may have associated with this relationship or any other with which you may be dealing. That would probably explain, at least for you, from your perspective, this five of earth that sits between the two of you. Atop keep an open mind, and the king of air is focus upon your strengths, says Apollo. So rather than worrying about what you don't have or may not have, and what might have happen, deal with the present, what you do have, what you can offer, and you know, have some confidence in all of that and some faith. Atop this separation and the queen of earth is open your heart to love, says Jesus. So Jesus back a second time during your reading. Again, wanting love to pass both ways. You have to open it, open your heart not only to love, but to both giving and receiving love is what he means. Atop that five of earth and passion is detached from drama, says Pallas Athena. So yeah, let go of like this conflict. Fives are about like conflict and challenging energy. Let go of all of that. Atop finances and career and the six of water is the power of joy. So this is good. This the three of them together, aside from what may be a financial concern on either of your behalfs, and I had mentioned specifically the masculine before, and it makes sense now that we have this finances and career crossing balance, career, and home life with Isis. But another meaning is about the abundance of the relationship. Abundance comes in many forms. It's not only money, but money, pentacles, coins, and finances and career, perhaps in this case, do represent like value, the worth of a relationship, longevity, all that kind of stuff for me. So coupled with the power of joy and the six of water, it's the abundance of the relationship, abundance of love and blessings coming to the two of you. And here at the heart of the matter, atop chemistry, very nice. Chemistry in the eight of water, which is a desire to move on. And again, crosses this need for the masculine to move on from his ex, and for the two of you to move on from any drama and conflict, is freedom with Hina. Wow. I think this has been a very clear reading, straight to the point. Masculine passion. He's got two cards of passion. Remember, there's a passion card right here under listen. So like listen to your heart is what this is saying, or the two are saying. They're doubling down on it. For you, travel, movement again, and maybe perhaps actual travel. You know, maybe you'll be visiting the masculine. He'll be visiting you. But certainly, at least metaphorical, a meeting of, you know, hearts and minds between the two of you. And forgiveness is also back here on the side of the masculine. He needs to seek it. He needs to give it. You both deserve it. You both deserve to be freed from any negative emotions that are holding you back. Message from afar for you speaks to me of the universe. Sometimes it's more literal and I think of like long distance calls and stuff, but this is more messages to which you need to pay attention. Like the signs are costing you, the red flags. This is a very red card too, like another red flag, to be on alert. The universe is trying to get your attention and is speaking to you. Listen. For the masculine, the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and or giving to those less fortunate is what this card represents. As from a standpoint of love, for me, it can be withholding love or giving too much of oneself as well. And, the need for balance there. Fours are also about, on their own, about foundations. And this can be him just like setting groundwork as an earth sign. That can be why it's coming through the Four of Earth. For you, the Two of Air. So this would be the second card of decision, because that Four of Air, which showed up a couple of times, is not only about meditation. I felt that was the strongest message for the two of you, but it is also about the need to make a decision and perhaps being able to come to that decision through the meditation. It would look like you still have one to make or are awaiting receipt of, a decision, an answer. Being unwilling or unable problems. So this needs to be addressed. The masculine is guided by the romance angels to let his friends help him, ask for and accept support from others. But I think his higher self sort of did that already with you. Remember I said that universal heart card was coming through on your side, but to me from him asking for your support. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. This can just be representing the sanctity of the union. We saw quite a few indications that was the case of a divine union here. We saw the twin flame card. We saw the Two of Fire. We saw the Two of Water. It's a special situation. And lastly, for the masculine, right says thought. And there's another moon here in this card. Yesterday was the first day that Mercury was, he was direct, for a full day. Mercury, the planet of communication, guiding us to write. I think that this is more like writing something off rather than communication, like cutting something off. And again, it might be attached to this X situation here. So he's going to have to work through that karmic situation. He has what he needs to do it. The magician didn't show up here, but he's still empowered with what he needs to do it. And speaking of the magician, your advice from the Ascended Masters is to work your magic, says Saint Germain. I hope that you enjoyed your reading and that you find it helpful there. Namaste, Angel.